Hello children, welcome to the digital classes. Now I will begin my session with a simple question. If you want to go to a new place and if you want to have a detailed information about a particular place, what will you refer to? Yes, we refer to a maps. So this topic related to the maps we have been learning in our 6th class as well as in our 7th class. So shall we have a quick recapitulation of our 7th class topic? Here we go. Our 7th class topic was reading maps of different kinds. Here we learnt about the helpfulness of the maps. Here we will be learning about how the maps are helpful to us as it gives us the detailed information about the place. And then we learnt about the different symbols. We learnt about the symbols which is given by Survey of India, and yes, these symbols are called as the conventional symbols. As you know children, it is not possible to show the physical object on a map. We will be using the symbols for showing a particular place in the map. And then we learnt about the different types of maps. You will be finding so many types of maps, that is physical maps, political maps and thematic maps. Then we learnt about how to measure the height of a land. Yes, the height of a land is measured from the sea level or a 0 meter level. Then we learnt about the contour lines. Contour lines are the lines joining the places with the equal heights. And finally, we learnt about the uses of the maps showing the heights. The maps showing the heights are useful to know the terrain or the nature of a landform, and while constructing the roads and while constructing the dams. Do you all remember the topic of our 7th class? Now, coming back to our 8th class topic, the first lesson of our 8th class is also related to the map, and it is reading and analysis of maps. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to differentiate between the photograph and a map. You will be able to prepare a timeline chart of the maps over the times, that is history of the maps. You will be able to write the history of the maps. You will be describe marketer's projection. Then you will be able to draw the maps of India and Telangana. You will be able to identify the symbols that are used in the maps, that are the conventional symbols which are given by the Survey of India, and at the same time you will interpret the usage of the contour lines for the different landforms. Here I will be showing you one image. This is the image of the world. Do we call it as a map? No. Do we use this type of maps while doing a map pointing in the class? No. Then where do we find this type of image of a world? Yes, when we are referring to the Google Maps in our phone. So this type of image is called as a satellite photograph, and it is taken with the help of a satellite. Now let us refer to the next picture. Yes, is this a map which we use while doing the map pointing in the class? Yes, this is the image of the world outline map, and these type of maps are used while doing the map pointing in the classroom. Okay, now you have seen two pictures. One is the satellite image and another is the map. Now there is an activity for you children. Please take a pen and a paper and write down the differences between the satellite image or the photograph and the map. I'll give you 2 minutes of time. I hope you all have written the differences. Now let me show you few of the differences. You just cross verify it with the differences given by me. The first difference between the satellite image and the map is a photograph will show the real features. That means when you take a photograph, you can find whether it is a valley or whether it is green in color and even the surrounding areas. But the map does not show us any kind of real features. In a photo, you may not be able to show how much it rains in a particular place or how hot it gets or how cold it gets. But a map is used by the geographers, and it gives us the particular information about the climate, about the food crops grown there, about the mineral resources available, etc. Satellite images are the photographs of the Earth's surface, and it is taken from the height with the help of an aeroplane or the helicopter or the hot air balloons. Whereas maps are the graphical representation of the selected Earth features. In a photo, the surrounding areas like houses, trees, rivers, etc. are covered. Whereas a map maker will not be showing the surrounding areas. They will pick up only the important features and only that will be shown while drawing the maps. A photo is just like the image of a place which is showing the scenic beauty at a time of the image taken. Whereas a map is an actual model of the Earth giving those features on the map because it is considered to be of a more importance. Did you all cross verify it, children? Now let us learn about the history of the maps. Maps have been drawn from a long time back. It depends upon the knowledge of the map maker, the material available and the requirement of the map maker. Similarly, one such map was prepared by Indians during Mahabharata. From the prehistoric time, it was speculated that universe comprises of earth, skies, seas, etc. And this was depicted with the help of an painting which is taken from Jowra in Madhya Pradesh. The same speculation was also continued in the Vedic and Puranic times as well. And here we found that our planet Earth is divided into 7 dvipas. Dvipa is a Hindi word for an island. Here you will see that our planet Earth is divided into 7 dvipas, that is Plaska Dvipa, Krauka Dvipa, Jambu Dvipa, Puskara Dvipa, Saka Dvipa and Salmali Dvipa. And our country India, which was known as Bharat Khand, is located in which Dvipa? Yes, it is located in Jambu Dvipa. The imaginary lines, what we call it as a latitudes and longitudes, was first given by our mathematician Aryabhatta somewhere back in 5th century. The first atlas was prepared by the Indian map makers during the Mughal period in Jaunpur in 17th century. But the maps what we are using in the present times is mainly prepared by the Britishers as they were ruling our country for a longer period of time, and most of the maps which were prepared by Britishers are no longer available. Going back to the history of maps, some of the maps were prepared by Sumerians. Sumerians in present times are called as a Iraq, and it was prepared somewhere around 4000 years ago on a clay tablet. Can you see this clay tablet, children? Yeah, this is mainly prepared by the Sumerians for keeping the large tract of the lands which was covered by the temples, and they wanted to keep the account of what they are receiving from this tract of a lands. So they were preparing this type of a maps on a clay tablets. After Sumerians, it was Babylonians who prepared the maps. Even they prepared the maps on a clay tablet. It was prepared somewhere around 4000 years ago. Can you see the map here, children? Yes, in this map you will find a big circle. This is the main city. Inside the main city you will be finding some smaller circles. These smaller circles are nothing but the villages and the marshy lands. And in between you will be finding the main city Babylon. Around this bigger circle you are finding 7 triangular oceans. So this is a clay tablet depicting the picture of Babylonia. Along the same time, even the Greek people started preparing the maps. The famous Greek map makers are Hicetus of Miletus, Anaximander and Herodotus. Even they were following the same idea which was followed by Babylonians. According to them, the earth is round like a disc, and the whole earth is divided into 3 main continents, that is Europe, Libya and Asia, with their capital Greece. Here it is mentioned as Athens. It is their capital, and they have located this place in the middle of the map. After Greeks, it was Romans who were mostly interested in making the maps as they wanted to conquer the whole world. You must be knowing one famous Greek king. His name is Alexander the Great. He was very much fond of conquering the world, and it is said that he has tried to come to India somewhere around 2300 years ago. So the maps which were prepared by Romans were very much helpful for the kings as well as for the traders to do the trade with our country. After Greeks, the Greeks tried to make these maps more accurate by drawing latitudes and longitudes. So for drawing the latitudes and longitudes, they have first find out the set of the places where the noon will take place at the same time, and they have set all these places from north to south. The Greeks tried to make these maps more accurate by drawing latitudes and longitudes. So to make the longitudes, they have first find out the set of the places where the noon will take place at the same time, and all these places they have set from north to south, and they have started drawing the lines. So these lines which are drawn from north to south are called as a meridian or a noon line or a longitude. Similarly, they tried to find out the places where the shadow is in the equal length, and they have set up all these places from west to east, and they have drawn all the lines from west to east, and these lines which are drawn from west to east are called as a latitudes. It is said that it took 2000 years for them for drawing these latitudes and longitudes, and the information for drawing these latitudes and longitudes was given by the sailors and the traders who were going from place to place. So with the help of the information, they have tried to draw these latitudes and longitudes. After the Greeks, it was Ptolemy. Ptolemy is one of the famous geographer of the world, and it is said that he was the person who tried to draw the maps using latitudes and longitudes. The information which is given in the maps of the Ptolemy was mainly related to the Europe and its nearby country. The maps drawn by Ptolemy gave an accurate information about the Europe and its nearby places. That is, mainly it is about the coastal areas, as the information was given by the traders. The traders were mostly going on the coastal areas, and they were not going into the interiors of the Europe continent. That's the reason the information was given only about the coastal areas, and it did not give any particular information about the interiors. Here if you will see, you will find that Sri Lanka is bigger than our country India. So this is the speciality of the map which is made by Ptolemy based upon the latitudes and longitudes. The maps of Ptolemy was referred by Arabs. One famous Arab map maker is Al-Idrisi, and he tried to prepare a world map in 1154 Common Era for his king. The speciality of the map which is prepared by Al-Idrisi is, you will find the north at the top and the south at the bottom, and these maps are drawn from right to left. So you can find this 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers given down, and with their country Arab at the center of the map. Before referring to the maps of Ptolemy, Europeans also tried to prepare some maps based upon Bible. According to the Bible, the world is divided into 3 main continents, that is Asia, Europe and Africa. If you will see this picture, children, you will find that Asia is shown in a bigger part. It is because they found that Asia continent is greater because Jesus Christ is born here. And you will find the 2 other continents, that is Europe and Africa, shown in a smaller parts, and that too it is under Asia. Around Common Era 1480, Europeans discovered Ptolemy's books but not the maps, and they were stunned to learn about his accurate description of the location of the places, and they prepared some new maps based on them, and the map shown here is the perfect map with the actual mathematical calculations of the distances and directions. During the 15th century, it is said that this is the age of discovery and exploration. This is the time when the people of the world wanted to go around, establish their colonies, they wanted to do the trade with the different parts of the world. But it was Arabs who did not allow any traders to cross Mediterranean Sea. It was during this period that Columbus went westwards and discovered America, while Vasco da Gama went around Africa and reached India. Hence, it was proved that Earth is not flat like a disc but round like a sphere. In the 16th century, Holland emerged as a major trading power. With this power, their map makers also brought some major changes in their map making. These changes were made by Ghirardel's Marketer. Ghirardel's Marketer is known as the father of Dutch cartography, who, based upon the old works, did some more original works on the maps. His map projection is mainly known as a Marketer's projection, and most of the maps of the world are based upon his projection. As you know, the shape of the earth is spherical and it is difficult to show it on a flat paper. If it's shown also, it will not be accurate or it will not be correct. But the sailors needed the correct directions. So, Marketer devised a method for showing the correct shapes and directions of the continents, but with the distortion of sizes and distances. This method is called as a Marketer's projection, and it is still used to show the world. As told earlier, most of the maps of the olden days were only of the coastal areas, as the map makers did not get any information about the interiors of the place, as the sailors did not explore the interiors of the place. So, when Europeans started colonizing the various continents of the world, they wanted the information related to the crops grown, about the mineral resources, people, etc. of that particular place. And to gather all this information, they have sent the team of a scientific expedition and the map makers to the different parts of the world. As told earlier, most of the maps which were prepared were only about the coastal areas, because the traders only roamed around the coastal areas for doing the trade, and it did not give us the information about the interiors of the continent. So, when Britishers wanted to explore India, they have sent the team of a scientific expeditions and the map makers who went into the different parts of the continent and tried to find out the crops grown, the people living around, the language they speak, the climate of the country, and the mineral resources available. So, the information which is provided by this team helped Britishers to explore the continent, to establish their colonies, and to do trade with the different parts of the world. Britishers wanted to establish their colony in India. They tried to do the survey of India, and with the intention of doing the survey of our country, they have established an organization called as a Survey of India, and they have appointed James Rennell as the first Surveyor General of our country, and he prepared the first survey based maps of India. So, this is the map which is prepared by James Rennell. Do you find any difference between this map and the map which you are using? Yes, there is a lot of difference. So, the survey which was started by James Rennell was continued by William Lambton. William Lambton wanted to find the highest longitude. He wanted to measure the height of a country from Chennai to the highest peak of the world. You all know why he has selected Chennai? It is because the 0-meter level is found here. In 1802, William Lambton started the survey of India from Chennai in the south, because all heights are measured from the sea level to the highest point of Himalayas, to determine the length of a longitude and also the heights of the various places. Here, I would like to remind you about the mean sea level which we learnt in our 7th class. Yes, it is the same mean sea level. It helps us to determine the height of a place from the sea level. So, the survey which was started by James Rennell and continued by William Lambton was completed by George Everest. Here, I would like to ask you one question, children. Can you name the highest peak of the world? Yes, it is Mount Everest. It is the same survey in which it was found out that the Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. As this information was given by George Everest, the highest peak is named after his name and it is called as a Mount Everest. Now let us learn about the usage of maps in the olden days and in the present times. Let us have a quick comparison between them. In the olden days, the maps were mainly used for the exploration of the places, for trade and sailing, for conquests, colonizing, and it was mainly used during the wars by the armies and the air forces. And these maps were kept confidentially by the government. Now in the present times, it is easily available. The maps are easily available. It can be read by everyone because it gives us the detailed information and as well as the accurate information. It is no longer maintained confidentially. It is used for the development of the countries. It is also used for finding out the resources available like water resources, mineral resources, etc. It is mainly used for planning the agricultural development, establishment of industries and building the roads, hospitals and schools, etc. Now you all must have seen the atlas, and in atlas you will be finding different types of maps. There will be some maps showing the average rainfall. There will be some maps showing the population of the country. The same type of maps in our textbook as well from pages 14 to 16. Here children, the maps which is giving you the information about a particular theme are called as a thematic maps. Here I am showing you two maps. One is showing the average rainfall and another is showing the population density of the maps. Now the speciality of these maps is they will be using a particular color scheme. These are the standard colors which is almost used in all the maps. Here children, the standard colors which are used in the maps are dark green for forest, light green for grasslands, brown for the agriculture and likewise. So whenever you see the maps which is given in your atlas, you will be finding a common color scheme and these are the colors which is universally accepted while preparing the maps. Now let us do one activity children and let us try to create our own thematic map. This is the map which is given in the page 10. In the same page you will find a table showing the density of the population. Now seeing the density of the population, you have to use this color scheme and fill in the colors in the map. Here if you will see our first state, it is Andhra Pradesh. It is showing the density of population as 309. So when you see 309, it will come under this one, that is from 251 to 500. So you have to use a blue color. So please fill Andhra Pradesh with blue color. Now going to our next state, it is Arunachal Pradesh. It is showing the density of a population of 17. So the color scheme used for 17 is yellow. So you have to color Arunachal Pradesh in yellow color. So these are some of the colors. So by the end of this activity, you will find that you have created your own thematic map. So while doing the maps, you will be finding that there are some common symbols which is used in the maps, and these symbols are called as a conventional symbols. These symbols are mainly given by Survey of India. Few of them were created by the map makers also, but there are some symbols which are mainly accepted and it is given by Survey of India. Those symbols are called as the conventional symbols and it is mainly used while preparing the topo sheets. Now let us learn about the representation of a relief features on a map. As you all know, there are different landforms on our planet Earth. Children, do you know about the relief features? Relief features are the different types of landforms which we find on our planet Earth. Different relief features are deserts, hills or mountains, plains or the grasslands. As the maps are flat and it is not possible to show the different landforms on a flat surface, we use a symbol called as a contour lines. Yes, these are the same contour lines which you learned in your 7th class. Contour lines are the lines which are used for joining the places at the equal heights. These contour lines are drawn at a regular interval of 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters and likewise. Contour lines give an indication of the slope of the land as well as the elevation above the sea level. Whenever contour lines are far apart, it represents a gentle slope. Closer lines represent steep slope, and uniformly spaced lines represent the uniform slope. Children, what do we call the book of the collection of the maps? Yes, it is called as an atlas. Atlas is a book which will show you the different kinds of the maps. You will be finding some physical maps, you will be finding some political maps, and you will be finding many thematic maps. Children, here we will be learning about the concept of an aerial photography. Aerial photography is the technique of taking of the photographs of the ground from an elevated position using aircrafts, helicopters, hot air balloons, etc. Aerial photographs are not the maps. These you can relate to the difference in between the photograph and the map, which we have seen earlier at the beginning of our class. And next we will be learning about the satellite imagery. Have you seen this type of images in your real life, children? Yes, these type of images we see while using Google Maps in our phone. These images are called as a satellite imagery as they are taken with the help of the satellite. Satellite imageries are the photographs of the Earth taken with the help of the artificial satellites launched into the space. These are used in many ways, that is for map making, for planning, for meteorology, for forestry, for warfare, etc. So children, I think the lesson is very much clear to you. So here is your homework. Please note it down in your notes. Please copy the questions. This map is given on the page 16 of your textbook. You don't have to draw the map, just note down the questions. Along with these questions, children, you can also solve the worksheets which are published by SCERT. You can download these worksheets from the official website of SCERT. So I think children, the lesson is very much clear to you. Please do your homework. Please complete the worksheets. And I take your leave. Thank you.